So hello and welcome everyone to the final session of Learn Flutter Together. We have already, this is the 10th session, and we have covered quite a lot of chapters before. So before we start, I just want to mention the code of conduct for our events. Because we are an inclusive community, so we want to make sure that we provide an empowering experience for everyone who join. So if you notice any sort of discrimination or harassment, please let us know. We will take action seriously. So yeah, just be friendly to each other, because we are all here to learn. And here you can see the schedule for all of our previous events. We started back then in October. And then now we are in December, 2 months later. We are covering the final chapter, which is on Firebase. And today we have Hao Mun to share with us today. So I'm very happy to have him. And of course, remember to stay connected with us. We have a Facebook page. You can find us at Everyone Who Code KL. We are also on Twitter and YouTube, where you can find the videos after this. So without further ado, let's start. I will pass the stage to Hao Mun.
Hello. Let me share my screen first. Hide this. All right. Let us quickly do a recap for last week about the deployment first, and then we can start with the Firebase. All right. So we all know about Flutter. Flutter is a cross-platform development framework. So it generally generates the projects for iOS and Android. So you can edit the configuration for the respective platform for Android and iOS. So you can find the folder over here. That you can see this Android and this iOS. So if you have the Mac app, here's the Mac OS. So there is their respective configuration you can find over there. And yeah, let's talk about Android. Yeah, so to release an Android app, you need to have the Play Store account, and with all the you need to list all the permissions that you use in the app. So remember, you only list the permission that you use, because Play Store is quite very strict to the permission that you use. So you have to carefully declare what's the purpose that you use, and list down all of them. Yeah, and talk about iOS. Yes, so for iOS, you need to have an Apple developer account and the portal. You need to get the provisioning profile and all of that. Also, you need to archive the project to upload them to the App Store. So you can also use some tools like Fastland to automate your deployment for Android and iOS. Yeah, so that's basically for the recap. Let us start with the Firebase. All right. So yeah, I believe you can see my phone, my Android phone over here. All right. So we start with the chapter 19, step 1. Let me drag this around. All right. So step 1, we need to, for Firebase, so something might confuse you is, something might make you complicated is, usually an app, we need authentications to make the app works, like for the login flow or registration flow. This is what we call as the authentication flow. So usually this is quite complicated, and it's usually abstracted, because it's, yeah, if you've done it, you know it's how it's complicated to a developer. So here I introduced the Firebase Auth. It's for you to simplify all the authentication flow that needed in Flutter. All right. So first of all, you need to add this dependency called Firebase Auth. Also, you need this Firebase core for the core packages. All right. And for this case, I'm using Google Sign In. So you can sign in the app like usual how you sign in like usual how you use the Google Sign In on another app. All right. So you just call this dependency and just Flutter get. All right. Then you are all good to go. All right. Then we go to the next step. Use Google Auth. All right. Then we come to here. So we create this app state manager quite earlier ago. And this state manager, now we add in another few lines. It's about Google Sign In and the Firebase Auth. All right. So initially we have a login method, but now we don't use this anymore. We are going to replace this login method with the Google Sign In. All right. And yes, we have this Google Sign In object come with the standard Google Sign In. So this line actually created the Google Sign In, the whole page layout for you. So it's like you how you sign in the Google account in other app. So it's basically a full page layout. All right, it's the standard layout. And we are using the Firebase Auth by getting the instance. So this is just a standard way to get the Firebase Auth. All right, so before we proceed with the how we log in with Google, to get the Firebase Auth, of course you need to have a Firebase account. So actually I created a Firebase account for this, and yeah, some configuration needed. So you need to approve the authentication and select your provider for the app. And here I just select the Google provider. Of course, I can select another, but for this case, I just select Google, so I can use the Google login. All right. And yes, so you remember when you created a Firebase, account, you need to add in the Google Service JSON file for Android. And for iOS, there's another file, but for this case, I only show this and for Android. So yeah, this is how the Firebase setup. All right, then we proceed with the login with Google method. Maybe I should show you first. Let me restart this. All right, so we have this login. So what we expected is when we click on this, we are going to get the options to log in with Google. All right. Oh, sorry, just now something I'm mistaken is actually this line is the line that show the full page layout, not this. All right. And this login with Google method, we can find it anyway. I think this is fine from the README for the Google Pub Dev. So you can find from over here, Google sign in Pub Dev. I think the code is getting over here. You can see this dependency, and there is some example usage. So this is just the simplified version of the Google sign in method. So it's basically simple. Just get the user, and we get the credentials, and we have a to-user method here. This is our OnOn extension. So this basically convert the Firebase user to our AirPod user, because we're having a different object. So this is just the helper method for us. All right. All right, so this is just the simple flow. Also, I think we have this. We create a login route for the routing. Also, did we add a login here? Let me check. All right, yes. So this router class we created a few weeks ago, I think, is about the routing in the app. All right, so we added a login redirect here. And do remember that we have a predicate here. This predicate saying in what situation we're going to redirect to this page. So it says if it's login and the route is login path, then we go to this page. And this get new URI is basically the query that redirect to the home path, meaning that we are logged in now. All right. So this is how the redirect implemented. All right, then we can go to the next step. Oh, before that, I should show you the login. All right. So when I click on this login, you can see that. Oh, sorry. You did see a full layout because it's I logged in before, so it keeps my credential. So you didn't see the login again, the layout again. So if this is a new app, you should see the full layout again. All right. So when you log in, this the user app as we see, and when you restart the app, so there's a problem that it backs to this page. All right, the state is not kept. So this is a problem that we're going to fix in the next step. Step 3, persist the login. All right, we go back to here, App State Manager. Where is it? All right, so in our App State Manager, we added this line, this small line, these few lines. All right, so this basically saying when the Firebase, so this user changes is a stream. So I think we learned about stream last week or last few weeks. All right, so stream is kind of like something that will notify you when there is some changes. All right, so this is saying that when the Firebase having the user changes, then we add a listener and we get the user. So if the user is now, then we set it to now. Otherwise, we put the user to our user variable so that we can keep the user info and keep it logged in. All right, so this is how this works. So yeah, let's restart this and try again. All right, so now we can see that this is already logged in, and even if we restart again, yeah, it keeps us logged in. So this is how this Firebase auth and this stream work for this case. All right, and we can go to the next step for logout. Yes, we need a logout for this. So you can see we have no way to log out in this case. All right, so for now we added a logout. All right, so there's a logout icon over here. Yeah, just before that, I need to show you the login page that just now I showed. So just now we have a login page that have a button in the center. With this, we are calling this login with Google method. So it's triggering the method in the App State Manager. So we go to there and there it will execute all of this code. So it's just that just one line calling the method, quite straightforward and simple. All right, and yeah, this is the sign with Google button. Okay, and yeah, just now we added a logout button. Yeah, let's see, where is it? Logout. Where is it? Let me find this. Yeah, over here. So you can see that we added an icon for logout in the app bar, so that every page, because they are sharing the same app bar, so they are having the same icon over here. And then we are calling the logout function in the App State Manager. So we can look in this App State Manager, quite straightforward. We call the sign out method from the Google sign-in dependency and the sign out method from the Firebase auth. So they do all the job. And for our logic, we just reset our tab to the 0 and call this initialize app. Yes, we just reset everything back to normal when this logout is called. So when we click on this logout, yeah, we're back to here. So if we restart, is it restart? Yeah, I think so. So now it keeps us in here. So we can sign in again. Oh yeah, now it shows. So I choose my account. Yeah, then here is the authentication flow. So we can look over the Firebase. Yeah, you can see that my account is signed in just now. Yeah, this is just a setup, just over this authentication in the Firebase tab. All right, that is about the authentication flow. All right, then if no questions, we can proceed to the next thing. The next step, that force checkout. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about the Cloud Firestore, which is this one, Firestore Database. So if you are a one-man guy that you are doing a small project, that you are doing Flutter, then you might consider I need a back end, I need a database but I don't have a relevant knowledge. Then you can use this Firestore database to help you to set up all the DB thingy to ease your life, make your life easier. All right. So this I will introduce this later on, but let's look at this the code first. So what I add this page is, no, I didn't add here, or maybe I should do a horizontal. All right, so right now I'm adding a section called commands over here. All right, so this is a hard-coded command. It's over 842. All right, you see some error here because we added a new dependency called, sorry, wrong file. We added a new dependency called container type indicator here. So we need to run Flutter pubget for now. And I just click Control Save and it will run this automatically for me. All right. So you see the line is resolved, the error is resolved. All right. So here's a hard-coded command. We can find this over here. So we have a command card, which is this one. And we have some hard-coded data over here. And we have a command form. For now, this do not think everything is just hard-coded. I'm just showing you that this is showing a command. Even for this one, yeah, everything is showing the same thing. All right. So we actually created a class called command using the freeze. I think this we introduced also last week, a few weeks before, about the JSON serialization thingy. We can use freeze to generate all the JSON method, and this is just the data model for us. All right. So command is just a data. So we extend the data model that we created. It's an abstract class that having a nullable ID. All right. These question marks means this ID can be null. All right. And in this data contract class, we're still having some what we call as some logic or some getter as setter over here. So basically it's just some setter. This one is set the item, meaning you set a command. And in this case, the T is a command. So T is a generic data type, which for this case is a command data type. All right. So for this case, we also having a get item, meaning getting a single command, get items, getting all the commands. And yeah, for the bottom one, it's not relevant for this chapter. Just get to know this top three get and setter. All right. Yeah. And yeah, for this command, we have an ID, we have an author to know the user, who's the user, and we have the body. Body means what is the command. All right. And we give it the airport ID that we created ourselves. For this case, the airport ID is using the date. All right. And they created at, meaning when is this command created. So I'm going to show you the sample of data, all right, from the Firestore. So this is, you can take this Firestore as a database, all right, and this commands is a column, and this ID that I'm tapping on this is a primary key, all right, and all of this is a row of this column. So you can see there's a different data for this, all right. So from this column we have three row, and each row having different set of data. All right, so Apple ID is a date, and we have different author ID and the command. Yeah, that I'm going to show you later. All right, then we can proceed to the next step. Step 6 at Firebase Source. So right now we added a file called Firestore Source. That again, we need to run Flutter Pubget. We can just go to here and click on the save. Then it will run Flutter Pubget for us. And then we go back to the file. Yep, the arrow is gone. All right, so we added a file called Firestore Source. This is basically connecting us to the Firestore that I showed you just now. All right. So right now this source haven't used by any place yet. Just a simple file that we created. We haven't used this in any way. So let me introduce this. What is this file for? So this file extends a data model that had an ID that I said just now. So every class has an ID. And this file has a collection name. Collection name for us is the comments, meaning it's the column name for us, all right? And we also need a from JSON and to JSON method to do the JSON serialization for this case, all right? And for this place, meaning when this file is called, we initialize the collection name to this collection, and this collection is going to back to this collection. All right. So basically, it's just a process to initialize the collection name. For this case, it's commands, but we haven't do this in this branch yet. We will do it later. All right. So we have a few method that just we introduced just now. It's about all the get item, set item. Yeah, and this from document, it's basically saying, because the things in the Firestore, we are usually called document. So we are getting this from document, meaning getting all the items in the Firestore. So we are getting a snapshot. We are getting the snapshot, and this document we basically just using from JSON to convert to some data that we can read. All right. So we assign the ID for them. Yeah, just basically just a method that retrieves the data from the Firestore. All right. And we have a delete item. Oh, okay, I think this delete item is to delete the comment based on the item, which is comment in this case. And get item, meaning it's getting the comment from the collection document. Based on the ID, we get the comment. So this get is the get method that provided by the Firebase Cloud Firestore. All right. And we also have the get items, meaning getting all the items, getting all the comments, and we map it and then we convert it back to a list. So this is what this function do. And then we have a set item. So set item is basically setting a command. We uploading a command. All right. So it's saying that we this line is actually equivalent to a post method. If you're familiar with those HTTP requests, we are adding this to the Firestore. So it's equivalent to a post method. And for this one, is equivalent to a update. We're going to update the command. So if the ID is exists, then we're going to update command. So it's similar to a pull or patch HTTP request in this case. All right. And then we're going to return the latest data from the document. So after we set, we return the latest data. All right, and this is what this file does. But we can see, so here's the command. So just imagine if someone comments over there, but it will not show in this page because it's not using stream. Every from this page, every from this file, we are not yet apply the stream, because stream have the abilities to make all the data asynchronous to our UI. All right. So for this point, we haven't added any stream yet. So let us go to the next step. Add comments report. All right. So now we add a stream method called subscribe to. Yeah, let me have a look for this. All right. So this stream method basically saying if there's a new comment in the Firestore, then we show this in our app. All right. So we're getting the correction. This query is the collection in our Firestore, and here we are using the where class. So this is our logic class that created by ourselves. It's basically saying where clause. It's similar to the where in the SQL query. All right. So we are telling the Firestore what we want in this case. All right. So in this case, we are saying that if the data is completely equals, then we assign the query. We assign the data to the query. So you can see now we are using this is equal to. So it's equal to meaning it's totally equal to the result that we want. All right. So you can see from this way, it's actually still have a lot of where clause scenario, like it's not equal to, it's less than, it's greater than. But for now, for our use case, we just want is equal to. All right. So we just use this is equal to match our use case. All right. Then this is just some exception handling. And yeah, so for stream, we are always getting a list. We are always getting a list because stream is usually in a list, and we are getting a star over here because stream needs async star is the syntax that how we use the stream. And you can see that we are yielding this snapshot also coming with a star. Right, so this snapshot is a stream as well. So this snapshot is basically the temporary data on the Firestore. Why is it temporary? Because stream is always update. So this snapshot is just temporary data that we are getting. So it always get update time by time, second by second, millisecond by millisecond. All right. And yeah, this is basically just something yielding the result from document back to a list, just getting the result. So this is what this subscribe to doing. All right. Also, we're we create a repo for this. All right, so this subscribe to is the just now we introduced all this logic implemented. All right, so in this repository, we pass in a source list. All right, so I think this source list was introduced last few weeks ago, but yeah, I'm going to say this again later. So for this source, we have a different source, like a local source and remote source. All right. So local source is, as I was said, is local storage or local persistency, and remote, yeah, from the cloud Firestore. This is the differences. All right. So this line is just the logic that we write to update all the data from our local and based on our remote. All right, because we are getting all the source, we're getting a last source because we always want the latest source. All right, this is a stream source. We always want the latest source, so we are getting a last source. Other than that, we are converting all the source and set it back to our local storage. So this is just some logic work over here. And we are using this over here. I think it's called command manager. All right. So from here you can see we have this command manager class doing some logic as well. So this save command, we are setting the command over here. And this subscribe to command for airport is basically the main feature that we are using. So it's going to subscribe to the stream with the where clause that we introduced just now. This must match the case. So this field name airport ID is this one. They must match this airport ID, this name, all right, with the given airport ID. So meaning if my airport ID is matched with the airport ID, then I'm getting the result. All right. So if I'm getting a result, I'm adding a listener to update the commands. All right. So this is using the river pod. So river pod is a state management tools for us, architecture for us to update the commands based on to sorting the order, like based on date, time, or whatever. So this case, it just helps us to sort the comments based on the date. All right. And always we need to dispose the stream subscription. So there's always something to dispose. For this case, is a stream subscription. All right. And see over here, I think. All right. Is it this one? Let me find this one. All right. So right now we have a command card, which is this one, and a command form, which is the bottom one. For the command form, is still nothing yet, still empty form, still nothing applied yet. So for the command card, we can have a look. So we have this avatar and doing some randomization here. So this avatar, you will get a different avatar based on different command you're typing. This is just a randomized method for us. And there's just some text layout over here. All right, then we can go to the next step. Chapter 19, step 8. Use the command report. All right, let us do a hard stuff first. So, command manager. So just now, this class haven't been used, but now this is using in the airport detail. All right, meaning every time you get in the airport detail, you are calling this method, this subscribe method that we introduced just now, subscribe to a stream and getting all the result back. All right, so this is in the state, meaning every time you come in this page, this will be called. All right, with the given Apple ID. All right. Same, if you dispose the widget, you get unsubscribe. All right, and then we go to, sorry. So just now we have the comment form. Now with empty comment form, now we got something over here. So this changed to a stateful widget, meaning it can handle some state changes. And we have a controller to get the, no, nothing yet, nothing handled, to get the text in the form. All right, maybe I need to restart for this. Let me try. Oh, sorry, I need a rebuild for this, not restart. I need to stop this and run again because some weird things happen. All right, so we have this save command as I introduced just now. So this icon, send icon. If you click on the send icon, this can save the command with the text and all the details, the ID, who is the user, and the date time. So this is how the form work. Yeah, nothing weird here. Yeah, let's wait for the rebuild. All right, so now we should be able to see this. Okay, now it works. So you can see this message. It's from the Firestore. So you can see this is a part. And if I scroll to this one, we got another message. Yeah, sorry for the poor resolution. All right. So this is from the Firestore. So we can check the Firestore. All right. So this is the first message, and this is just now this is the first message, and this is the second message. All right. So maybe I can drag these to the screen. Let me check. All right. So we can have a better view from here. All right. How should I demo this? Thinking. All right. So we talk about stream subscription. So stream is almost immediately happens. So if I edit a message from here, can I minimize this or what? Let me. All right. So if I editing the message over here, let's say, hi, today is 20 December. And I update. So you can see that UI is changed immediately. All right. So this is how the stream works and how it connects with the Firebase. So if I adding a new message over here, maybe not this one, maybe. All right. All right. The scroll is not good because it's not fully complete yet. So we can scroll, but yeah, it's okay. I just adding a new message. Say, hello world. All right. And I click on the send button. So you can see just now a new line is popping and saying the hello world. So this is how it's connected to the Cloud Firestore. And and something is forward to introduce is where is it? I forgot what's the file name. Firestore data source. All right, Bootstrap. All right, so we run the Bootstrap every time we start the app. So just now, as I said, we have the local memory and we have the Hive for the consistency. And now we added a Firestore source for this. All right. So the question is, this commands, it's initialized from here. So we are calling this command to this repository. So we are creating. So you don't need to manually create this in Firebase. You just need to set up this, and we are putting these commands here, and it will auto generate for you. All right. And yeah, so we can test if we are changing the ID. So as I said, this ID is based on the, so you can see this one is 20, meaning today. So if I change it to 19, or maybe I should just go in first. All right, so if I change to 19 and I update, so it will pop up over here, and the 21 no longer exists. So this is how it works. Yeah, I think that's it. Any question?
I think just now Kenyang asked about how you type in the comment in your phone or
in my phone. Okay. Because it's connecting to my to my device. I'm not using the emulator.
Oh, okay. Do you mind telling us what's the model of the phone you're using?
Well, it's a OnePlus Note. I hope you can see. It's a Android OnePlus Note. Yeah, but I'm using some tools to demo. I'm using a tools. Am I showing? No, I'm not showing. Oh, let me show you again.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm using a tool called Wiser to. Oh no, it's not. So a tool called Wiser to share my screen, to share my Android apps to the screen. So there's quite a poor quality. Yeah. So yeah, but that doesn't matter. Yeah. So just for your info.
Okay, that looks pretty good already.
Is there any questions more?
Any more questions? Can you see the chat?
Yeah. Using Wiser. Can you automate Facebook spams? No, I don't think so. It's just a tool for you to screencasting your Android app to your screen. So I don't think you can make it. Yeah, if you have the scripts, maybe. Yeah. I mean, my situation is without a script. Yeah, if you have a script, then maybe you can do it. You can have a try.
But probably don't get banned by Facebook. Okay. If there's no more question, we are going to conclude here. So thanks, Hao Mun. Thanks a lot for sharing with us, and also the previous volunteers who help us to lead the sessions. And yeah, two more things before we go. One is we actually have a Facebook group that is the Flutter and Dart Malaysia community. I can put the link here. By the way, they are not associated with Women Who Code. It's just one of the more active Flutter group that I'm also involved in. So if you want to continue your Flutter journey and you have any post, you have anything that you want to share or discuss, you can just post it in the group. So this is somewhere that we can continue our discussion. And then last thing is maybe we can all turn on our webcam so we can take our group take a group picture to conclude our study group for 2021.